start off with, this is Fielding Shredder. This is Aaron Losey from Lone Star Drift, and this is Drift Week. Now, mind you, we're exhausted, we're all really tired. We've been through a lot already, and we're not even near done. We're just gonna riff off the top of our head because I think fielding has a lot of interesting things to chat about for you guys to listen to. So thanks so much for watching, YouTube. All right, and thank you to BC Racing Coilovers, thank you to Inky Wheels, What Monsters Do, and Fitfo Culture, boop, website things.
You
and
never
just
do that.
in the bottom.
Never, ever
yeah, there's never
graphics down
anything
here.
there.
None of that happens
It's
ever.
a lot of editing.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick introduction. This is Fielding Shredder. He's been driving with Lone Star Drift for more than a decade. I think since 2006 to 2007 era. This
09.
is 09? Okay, yeah. This is his original car.
Yeah.
It's been through an SR20, it's been through some JZs. It's been really reliable for a long time. I always thought my car was one of the longest lasting drift cars in Texas, but I kind of put it away a long time ago. And he has got to have that title of the most used S chassis probably in the country right now. And it's just been doing so many events. I mean, like, it's done over 200 events probably. Fielding has been known for being on the TV show Hyperdrive recently. He's done multiple commercials. He has a bunch of great sponsors. He's the quintessential grassroots guy that took 10 years or so to build himself up through the ranks of grassroots, circumvented the pro thing of going to Formula D, and went pro in a different direction where he's now doing commercial work, been on Netflix, makes appearances and stuff places. He's getting to do a lot of awesome stuff. He's trying the vlogging thing and the Instagramming thing. And the last few months, he picked up 100,000 Instagram subscribers.
Mostly from Hyperdrive.
Right, but most of, well, it doesn't matter where they come from.
You're right.
He is utilizing those to help with his sponsorship and everything else and just keep pushing forward. So we're just gonna chat about the past, the present, and the future with fielding. So first of all, why don't you give me an introduction of how you started and that kind of stuff, like how you started in the first 10 years of drifting, and a few minutes of chatting.
Okay.
Go for it.
I mean,
I'm gonna get out of the frame even.
Cool. Yeah, like any high schooler, I loved cars. I thought they were cool. I didn't really know anything about them, and and I've had a couple Hondas and stuff, and some crappy cars that I blew up throughout high school. And then I saw a video of Kaguchi drifting his 180SX, and I immediately fell in love and was like, I have to try that. And so I went and bought an S13 and just started driving like a dickhead around the city. And eventually, by the end of the summer, me and two other buddies had 240s, and I was the only one who didn't crash my car by the end of the summer. So I was like, maybe I got a knack for this. Maybe I should try and do this. I blew the motor, got rid of the car. Fast forward a handful of years later, I decided I wanted to really try it for real, and I had a decent job at the time, and I could afford this, and so I bought it. And when I bought it, it was completely stock, inside and out. The only thing it had is an SR under the hood. Totally stock suspension, wheels, interior, exterior. It looked really nice. It was in great shape, but it's slowly become what it is today. And yeah, I think I like to kind of be a model for sustainable drifting. I've learned a lot of that from Aaron and other positive influences in my life, but mainly making this something that's fun and something you can do for many years and continue to enjoy and not hate or go broke or rack up 100,000 in debt or any other things that happen when you maybe bite off more than you can chew. And there certainly have been some learning experiences in my life from that exact thing. But where I am now, I think I've figured out kind of a pace and a method of this madness, and yeah, I'm just really kind of enjoying the ride and getting to go on cool things like this. I mean, this is my first time at Sandia. This is an amazing facility, super cool track, and my car is still working, which is incredible. So, no complaints.
You skipped a lot there, Fielding.
Yeah.
You skipped 200 events of drifting. You skipped the whole hyperdrive experience. You skipped going to SEMA and driving with the Hoonigans there. You skipped so many disasters in our drifting career.
So many.
What was the most difficult thing so far in your entire drifting career, and what was the highlight? Start with the disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I've blown many motors before. I've crashed countless times. I've had to do fiberglass so many times I can't even count. I have literally like fiberglass in my skin embedded for life, and other various things. Yeah, there's definitely been lots of downfalls. I was choosing to just forget about that.
Okay, let's go with the positive. What's the highest, the best things?
The hyperdrive was definitely an amazing experience. That was my GoPro turn off. Hyperdrive was definitely probably the highlight of my career so far. I mean, it was viewed by over 100 million people worldwide. It's gotten lots of great reviews and positive feedback. My personal journey throughout was pretty insane, and I think I've gotten a lot of notoriety and a lot of fan base because of that. You know, I was true to myself, and I just was out there to have fun. I didn't care so much about winning, and I wanted to put on a great show, which is the whole point of drifting, in my opinion. So I think because I stuck true to that, a lot of people really appreciated that, and it's turned out pretty all right. I mean, I don't have like people writing me checks. I don't have massive sponsors yet or anything like that. So it still is not like a Cinderella story where someone sees you on TV and they're like, "Here's $1 million."
You did get some commercial work off of it and everything, though, haven't you?
I did, yeah. So I've done some commercial work. I did some of them before the show even came out, just from my credentials and my resume. And then also like my build is just luckily good for that sort of thing. I'm kind of small but proportional, and so commercials.
So you don't
like
make
that.
the cars look weird and stuff?
Yeah, and so like I fit in most cars. I make the interiors look a little bigger. I can fit in a race suit and that looks, it looks proper with a helmet and stuff. I don't look disproportioned, and so that's kind of.
I didn't think about that much. But when they were casting for that original Super commercial, they asked me all those questions, and they asked me to provide drivers that did that. And they're like, "Don't give me a driver over 5'9", I think was the height."
They said 5'10"
maybe,
or under.
Yeah, and they gave a weight
under 150 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, that ain't me. I'm not under 150 pounds.
Yeah.
I'll just be driving the car like this." Nah, I didn't want to.
Yeah,
All yours.
I mean, I don't know why they. I
No, it
guess
makes sense.
Just the visual.
No,
the
it
aesthetic.
completely makes sense. They spend millions and millions of dollars in a commercial. They want the exact aesthetics that they want.
Yep. You know
all
the
right.
saddest part about that whole thing?
What?
I was wearing a $5,000 race suit that they overnighted from Italy.
And they didn't let you keep it?
A full carbon steel helmet, like gloves, suit, shoes, everything. And they did the photo shoot, and then they put it in a box, and it's locked away forever now.
Why?
Because they were like, if we ever need to do pickups, we'll pull it out of storage.
You're like,
And I'm
send it with me.
I'm like, what the hell? This is like 10 grand worth of safety gear that is up to date for no reason, and it's sitting in a box. And
You know the worst part of that to me is whenever I do a job like that, they'll do something like that, in the commercial industry or whatever, and you're like, you paid more for the racing suit than for me,
100%.
and you're gonna throw it away.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, we don't care.
Right.
The racing suit's more important than you.
Yep.
And you're like,
Yeah,
hate
that's
you so
exactly, just, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, can I at least have the gloves? They're like, nope. I'm like, all right, never mind. Thanks.
okay. What was your number one experience from the whole hyperdrive thing? Your favorite single moment?
I think probably watching it like with my friends and family when it finally came out.
So it wasn't even the actual driving or being there?
That was awesome, but it was so secretive and so like it wasn't even real to me. Like when
Yeah.
when it was going on, I'm like, this isn't even happening. This is a dream / nightmare. Like the whole time, I'm just like, I'm on set in a
And it all happened at night, so you're disoriented anyways.
Completely disoriented. Cameras everywhere, crew, everything. There's a crew of 300 people on set. Like,
Oh, wow.
That's unreal. And they rented out a city to drive through. So like, it wasn't just a set. It was an entire functioning city that they rented out. There were some businesses that were functioning in the facility, and they were just Netflix asked them like, how much do you profit per month? And they were like, I don't know, 50 grand. They're like, hey, we're going to pay you 60 grand. Everyone goes on vacation for a month. So they would
like,
just
"Get
buy
out."
them out. They're like, go away for a month. Everybody, every employee, every manager, you're done. And they
Wow.
did that with multiple businesses just so they wouldn't have to deal with that.
That's crazy.
It was crazy, the whole operation.
I don't even function like that.
No. So that's what I'm saying. Like the whole thing was just a dream. And then I was under contract with a $1 million penalty if I posted or disclosed anything about the show.
You're like, joke's on you guys.
Yeah.
I don't have $1 million.
That was pretty funny. I was
Have
like,
fun
yeah,
suing me.
good luck getting that. But I mean, and everyone was, held to that. So you guys noticed that nothing was posted or said about the show until a few weeks before it came out. Maybe privately with my friends, I'll show you on my phone or something, but I would never share anything. Si's behind the camera here giving me dirty eyes because he knows he saw something. But yeah, it was crazy because that whole year I had to fix my car and then still drive with Lone Star and act like nothing ever happened. And that was just the weirdest thing. So I think to answer your question, just watching it when it finally came out and getting to see what all of this effort turned out like was a pretty surreal experience. And that was the most enjoyable, I think.
Do you want to talk about anything before you move forward? Like, do you want to talk about drifting newer BMWs in commercials and if you like them as drift cars?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about chat? Because we're going to move into Drift Week stuff in a minute.
Okay.
So, cover anything you want to. I'm going to sneeze. Talk about that.
Yeah, the commercial work I've done is pretty cool. I'm not doing one every week or anything, but as they come along, I pick up what I can. I got to recently drive an M2 in a drifting commercial, or maybe it was an M4, actually.
Was it better than the Supra to drift?
infinitely better. But
Really?
for a couple
Very similar
reasons.
cars. Was it just the transmission?
The transmission was the main one, and then the leniency. So Toyota was super strict about everything. Like everything was like, you know, okay, action, you go do 1 corner, 2 corners, and then stop, reset, dust the car off, reset, lighting, more fog, smoke machine on, go again. Whereas this was literally like, all right, cameras are rolling, we got a camera car behind you, we got people on these stations, they're just like, send it. And I would do like a full like section, you know, and I'm hammering this car. I have some footage I could show you behind the scenes, but I'm hammering the car like so much. And they were just like, all right, let's do it again. I'm like, okay. And they just did that all day long, like
Wow.
constantly. I
How many tires did you go through?
I actually only burned up 1 pair of tires.
Wow. Were they the fronts? No,
No.
I'm joking. That's a
No.
drifter joke.
Yeah, the car handled amazing. I'm upshifting in drift, like no problem. The paddles were weird because they move with the wheel, which is not how they should go.
You get used to it, though.
BMW, you fucked up on that. But anyway, I was using the sequential shifter itself
Yeah.
to
Do your shifts.
to upshift in drift, which was unreal.
How were you initiating?
I was literally just doing a burnout off the line and just like up, like first burnout, second burnout, initiate, like just like power over, you know, because
Yeah.
there was no clutch or anything to pull, and there's no handbrake at all. And left foot braking was a little funky. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't like as good as a proper drift car.
Yeah.
So I would just kind of like burn out into it and then just like bang third and just be like, yeah, just hammering limiter the whole time, smoke and everything going everywhere. And they're like, that was
Would
sick,
you like
let's do
to
it
have
again."
that as a drift car?
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Just some simple things like modding it with an e-brake and stuff like that.
With the handbrake and a clutch pedal that would just like disengage the clutch packs, be
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, the car handled unbelievably well. Stock had plenty of angle. Like, it was crazy fast. I mean, everything about that car was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to Drift Week now. So we are second track, finished with it, day 4 of Drift Week. First day was in Austin. Second day was driving to our next location, which was like 16 hours of driving.
It was for me.
Yeah. And then third day was Sandia Raceway, which was our second track day. And then we're on our 4th day right now, which is we're about to drive off to Tucson, Arizona. Tell me what it's like. First of all, you're bringing a Pro-Am car. You have the best car on track probably besides the Corvette.
Maybe
Would you
so.
agree?
I think better than the Corvette.
Okay. But
That's
you
right,
have...
Matt, I beat you in the
speed?
high-speed entry, yeah.
I don't believe it 1 minute.
I didn't believe it either. No. Okay, so he has one of the best cars here to drift, but it's one of...
I would say probably the worst,
worst car
to drive
on the street?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Why is it so bad?
It is unbelievably loud and noisy. It's very stiff. My back is killing me. It's illegal as hell. So my anxiety's off the charts the entire time. The headlights are absolute garbage. I've got the light bar up front now, the hyperdrive light bar, and even that is still like not that great.
Yeah.
And I'm blinding everybody because the light just goes everywhere. It's not like focused.
Can you not just have the headlights on and whenever you get on the open road, flip?
That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. But the headlights are literally like 5 feet
Useless.
in front
No,
of
I
you,
know the
and that's
useless
it.
head
Like,
feeling.
complete garbage. And
Yeah.
then
They look like they're pointed.
yeah, I know, right? So like, and then of course all the attention is great whenever you're at a drift event, but when you're on the street, like you don't really want that. And I've had every single stop, we've had multiple people come up and like, oh my God, what is this? What's going on? What the hell are you doing here? Why are
Yeah.
you in like Little Plains, Texas?
Sweetwater.
Yeah, or wherever we were.
Sweetwater.
We had like, Rohan was there, we had the whole entire car crew, which was like 4 dudes from this one little town, all came, like one dude saw it, called his friends, and they all came within like 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then none of them had even seen hyperdrive. So I told them
They
all
don't
to go
have
watch
internet.
it. I don't
Or
know.
fast enough internet.
Right, yeah.
Watching that in Potato 480p.
Right. It's chewing up tires pretty quick too, I think. And I'm
Yeah. On
I'm
the
also-
street?
Yeah, because I didn't do a
Street alignment.
Street alignment. I saw LZ is doing, he's changing toe every time, and I'm like, but it drives terribly because it tracks around, it like grabs every little like rut in the road and wants to go off track the entire time, and the steering wheel's like this, and I can't hear the radio, it's too loud, even though I spent all that time installing a radio, completely useless. No heat or AC, it's freezing and cold at night, like 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of socks, 4 jackets, still freezing.
You need some body fat.
Yeah, that would help for sure. I've got the little heated seat modules that immediately melted the fuse and immediately stopped working pretty
Dang.
much. So just little drift car problems that don't matter on a track, but on a street.
Have you gotten to drive on the street with all the other cars and stuff?
A little bit.
How does it feel to like do that?
It's cool. Like it sounds great. I love like rolling into boost and stuff. That's rad. But no fuel gauge, so just panicking all the time. Fuel cell, multiple pumps that are giving me all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
So just all the things that
you're having all the race car problems on the street, and Adam and Luke and all these dudes are doing burnouts at the Airbnb and the garages and stuff.
Yep.
And they're acting like fools, and you've got to be nervous. Adam should be nervous, so his car's way more illegal. It's not in his name with a proper VIN or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, yours is in your name, so they're not going to take it. They're just going to ticket you. You know what I mean?
If I was driving like like an asshole, they could crush it.
No.
They could.
No, they can't. Not if you have not if it's in your name and all that shit.
It was registered in my name last in 2011, and I have a temp tag on it now.
Yeah, but they can't crush it for that.
They can if you're doing reckless driving.
Oh, well, they can crush it anyways for reckless driving.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Probably. I don't know the laws. We should probably look up the laws.
I looked that one up. I was like, ooh,
don't reckless
how bad
drive.
is this? Yeah, so I'm not. I mean, except when I'm trying to follow Mark.
So what's the ultimate, if you came to Drift Week again, we're only in day 4, so you haven't like lived through all this, and we are getting to the better weather next.
For sure.
So it's going to be better weather. What, would you bring a full-on car like this, or would you do something more tame? Because I'm even frustrated a little bit on track. Like the SC's good and everything, but you're like, I wish I would have a fully sorted car to drive with all the really great drivers, because we have some of the best drivers in the world here.
Right.
So I want to chop it up with them. Like we are chopping it up, but you know what I mean, with like an aggressive car that's fully sorted. And I'd never driven the SC before this, so we have a bunch of rubbing problems in the front. We can't sort because there's no stops on the front suspension anywhere for the steering.
My door's still pretty damn close.
No, I know, but it's sketchy because like if I go 2 more degrees of angle, it's just like
gotcha
and stops the car.
Yeah, I mean,
what car would you bring?
I think I would probably build a clone of my car that was like an actual proper full interior, not tube framed and stuff.
With the 2J?
But still 2J, still like same drivetrain and suspension, just not as gutted and like solid mounted everything.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be easy just to update that with a heater and stuff?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
it's so far gone, and like everything is cut out, and all the wiring and stuff is now in place of like where the blower motor would be, and it's.
But not a Corvette or anything. That Corvette looks pretty rad out here.
Corvette looks cool, but like.
You don't like Corvettes?
Well, I feel like people see the Corvette and they're like, yeah, it's a Corvette, and then they see my car and they're like, holy fuck, you're an idiot for driving that. That's awesome.
If the Corvette was as riced out as your car, it would look even cooler, I think.
I guess depends on the fan, right?
Yeah.
The hardcore drifting fan, I feel, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they would appreciate what I'm doing more in this car on the street than someone buying a Corvette.
Only because they relate to it and they own a 240SX themselves and they understand the pain.
But that's exactly
They're just like, oh man, like, that poor sap.
The sacrifice I'm putting through my body for your entertainment here. Give me some credit for that.
So I've been thinking about the whole Drift Week concept and stuff too. This is obviously just, I've never done this before. We're doing it as like a pilot program. After being on this adventure, I'm honest. So the second Drift Week is supposed to be in Japan. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
Like logistically, it's going to be too much. We can control it logistically here because we can speak the language. We can get rid of tires when we need to. We can make things go away when we have problems. We have so many people that speak English that can come to our rescue if we have problems. Our cell phones work really well here. Our data works well. Like everything's gonna be so hard over in Japan.
Even just our social network. Like right now, any one of us can post, and in 10 minutes we're safe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna do Japan. It's gonna be really, really hard. So I was thinking about doing the next one in America because all of us will have way more sorted cars. There's so many tracks that we still haven't driven in America and it's so much easier. And this is a very expensive trip from both the hosting side, because we're not having spectators come in to monetize it, to pay for things, to the driver's side, because driving is always expensive and you're doing 7 days of drifting and getting around, and you're also having to modify your car for something specific, which you had to buy a bunch of stuff specifically for this. I'm just thinking about like the Japan one's gonna be so hard. So how do I improve this?
Well, I was gonna say I didn't do a great job of making this pay for itself for me, because I was spending all the time fixing the car. I couldn't spend any time like pitching sponsors and trying to put together sponsorship. So this is almost completely just out of my pocket. BC gave me some coilovers. Thank you guys. That was a really nice upgrade. Mine were all bent up from previous
from
events.
Hyperdrive.
Yeah, Hyperdrive among other things, and Lone Star, and a couple other. Kenda gave me tires, but really, And Zona and Tile both gave me some parts under the hood. But other than that, I'm paying for all my own fuel, my own hotels, covering food, all that stuff. And of course, my crew, I've got Rohan and Alyssa has decided to tag along last minute, and we're having a great time. But yeah, it's expensive. So yeah, to answer your, or to touch on your point, like, I don't know how we're gonna do it long term.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So how about, let's talk about the future of, before we move on, Drift Week for me, I'm on the logistics side. I really want to not have the trailer and like all my responsibilities and go drive with everybody. People are street drifting around. They're blowing through their Speedos, like just Speedo just maxed out, driving on limiters and stuff down the highway. Mark was in the SC and was at 5,000 RPM in 5th gear. Sai, was that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sai says for like 30 minutes, but that's not possible.
You say that.
I chased him for 15 minutes at 105.
Oh, crap,
and he was
really?
gone. Like, I couldn't see his taillights.
Wow.
And we were in the desert, straight road, no turns, no curves, no hills.
Yeah.
Like,
So these guys, I know a couple of the drivers have probably been around 160 for part of it.
just absolutely asinine in a drift car with
Yeah, I
fiberglass
know.
fenders. It's everything
With an inch of toe out
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the front.
Idiot.
So I was going to say, I want to go do all those fun, ridiculous things, but I was the only one that could maneuver the trailer around safely through downtown areas and a bunch of places we had to go. So I had to give up my spot for driving for, responsibility, because I'm always a responsible person. But man, I really want to go screw around and have fun and be like the idiot, you know what I mean? I hate always having to be the responsible one.
Aaron's the angry dad in the group
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, I haven't been angry yet, have I? I don't even know where I got the name.
He's just the dad now.
Yeah, just this. Oh, did they
The
take angry out?
I think no,
Responsible dad.
you're still the angry dad, but
Oh.
you're just the dad at this point.
Yeah.
When someone
so,
does something dumb enough, you'll yell at them, and that's good. We need
Yeah,
that.
but like Luke Fink was 100% street drifting with children in the car, and they were posting
that.
videos of it.
I saw that.
And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, we kind of talked about not doing anything too illegal and like posting it, and people are going 160 miles an hour and street drifting with children. But I mean, that's kind of the theme of the thing. Like, I'm not stopping anybody from doing anything because everybody's on their own between destinations, and people are pretty responsible at the track. We're not doing the
that's
track.
actually the most ironic part is that we
Yeah.
are way more responsible on track
Right.
than on the street where someone can die.
But as soon as the angry dad's out of the picture, everyone's brain just like they throw the brain out and just go do stupid stuff.
Luke thinks he's still in Australia for some reason. Like, he hasn't
Yeah.
changed his mentality a bit.
His accent might get him out of a ticket or something. I don't know. I want to do a lot of the Drift Week things, and somehow, even at my own drift events and stuff, I really want to drive sometimes, and I just like, I have to do all the logistics and work, and we're pushing around barriers and, fixing everything and dealing with things.
Telling people to stop doing wheelies on pit
Yeah,
bikes.
yeah,
and-
stop people from getting hurt. But I'm not complaining. I'm having a great time. It's really, really good. Okay, so let's jump off the subject of Drift Week and let's move on to, we talked about your past. We talked about the present. What's the future? Because I think 5 years ago, you wouldn't have said what you were doing is Instagram, YouTube, commercial shoots with big companies, the hyperdrive thing, the SEMA Burnyard thing. You wouldn't have guessed this stuff. And it's hard if you don't have goals to obtain them, but you're randomly grabbing goals right now, if you know what I mean. Everything's pretty random, would you agree?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, like, of course you're working towards something bigger, but you're not like, I want to do this specific thing and then go check it off. It's like, you're like, I don't want to lose all my money drifting, and then you like find that over here, in a different section. In the next 1 to 5 years, what are your goals and what do you think you're going to do and what do you think your successes are going to be? I know what your failures would be, and that's the
Yeah.
car, all the fiberglass exploding 5
Right.
times. We don't have to talk about that.
Sure.
What's the best part going to be? What
Yeah.
are the good things?
I think I'd love to continue to travel more. XL, Francois, you guys maybe remember from Hyperdrive, he's out on this trip. I talked him into coming in a C6, and now he's invited me to go and drift his car in the French Drift Championship. And
Oh, wow.
Which would be unreal. And he was like, yeah, we'll cover all the expenses, no problem. Just get your plane ticket. And
You
come
get
out
free
here."
plane tickets.
I get a discount on them, yeah. So
Yeah.
that'd be.
He's like, I get a 99% discount on them.
Right, depending on where I'm going. But yeah, so like that right there is already like in my sights for 2020. I definitely want to do that, and if it goes well, I would love to try and make round 1, and let's say it goes well, and then I could potentially do the entire championship. Like, that would be unbelievable, especially if it's not that expensive, driving someone else's car. But doing that, more driving other people's cars, more traveling, more experiences on tracks like this and other tracks throughout the country that I've always seen online and wanted to drive but never gotten to for one reason or another. More of that, not stopping driving in Texas, but this is going to be now my travel car. And then I've got a Texas Street Legal project that I'm working on for
Oh, really?
for drifting. In
What's
Texas.
the Texas Street Legal project? A Z?
Yeah, I'll release all the info. I've got a whole YouTube plan.
Why didn't you do a Corvette? Do you want to win or
see.
not?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see why. I explain everything in the videos. It'll be a full YouTube series, so you guys make sure to check that out.
What's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel, just type Fielding Shredder into YouTube and you'll see it. It pops right up. And please subscribe, of course, and all that stuff. We hate to ask for that, but that is like your currency, you know, as a viewer. You're not paying for subscription like you would for Netflix or HBO or Disney Plus, so just subscribe. That's
your currency?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought the currency was watching advertisements.
No, because you get like a tenth of a penny,
Yeah.
at least on my level, so it's not really worthwhile. So yeah, and then just
Because that's just stuff you want to do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think driving in France will necessarily lead to any great success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you won't be dealing with sponsors there. You won't be speaking the language probably. There'll be some barriers. You know what I mean? Like, I think that your success will come from you doing something specific, like getting commercial work maybe,
Mm-hmm.
becoming a stunt driver, somehow monetizing drifting in a way that like maybe a YouTube or Instagram, or at least alleviating the cost on yourself by getting parts brought in, which you're doing a pretty good job right now. You work with Kenda Tires, Inky Wheels, who else? Zona Turbo,
BC Racing.
Racing. And do they offset the cost of your driving, like at least the car part?
Absolutely,
Obviously
yeah.
the traveling costs and stuff is a lot, but most of your car expenses are gone now.
I mean, it's less of the dollars and more of the time. You know, I don't have like
Yeah.
a mechanic that can
But most drifters
work on
want
the
to do
car.
that. They do want to work on the car and they just don't want to pay for parts.
Yeah, I hate working on the car.
But you get
It's
over
the
that
worst.
after like
Yeah.
year 10, you're like, I've been working on a car for a long
Well,
time.
I'm a driver. I want to drive. I don't want to wrench, but it's the necessary evil. You got to do it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to find someone I can trust that I can just be like, do this job, and they will do it exactly like I would do it. You know, and I won't have to think about it or look over their shoulder. So that's a goal for sure.
Yeah.
But then being able to afford that person is another thing. You know, how am I going to pay their way? Because no one's going to do that for free. No one that's worthwhile, at least.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take. You know, it's tough to put all the pieces together into one functioning symbiotic.
I haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep doing weird stuff and everything, and people are like, "Oh, he's doing Drift Week. He's got a plan," and I'm like, "There's no plan. No plan at all."
Right. Like we're gonna drift.
Just doing this
a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a big one for me, like so I don't want to set a specific goal. I just want to be happy. Like continue to
Ooh,
enjoy
that's the best one.
my life. Like I don't want to set too many expectations. In fact, that's a mantra I live by, is not having all these expectations, because then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Whereas I just want to enjoy my life and enjoy my time, you know, on this earth, and hang with friends and people that I love, and just have a good time drifting my car or someone else's car, and on cool venues at cool tracks, doing cool things. That's it.
Yeah.
And then sharing it with the world is a great avenue for continuing that journey.
How many body kits have you had on that car?
15, 20?
15 or 20?
Yeah.
How many paint jobs? That includes if you have to repaint a body kit and all that stuff. How many times has the car and the body kit's been painted?
I counted that the other day. It's been 9 different colors. It's been repainted probably 25 times. If you count all the bumpers, the fenders.
How many stickers have gone on the car?
Hundreds, literally hundreds. If
Right.
if you include every shard from my livery, thousands.
How many engines have been in the car?
This
Each
is-
blown engine or whatever has to count, not just one SR and one JZ platform.
No, yeah.
But all the engines.
6 engines.
6 engines. How many transmissions?
Counting SRs, 4.
How many different sets of taillights?
A lot. I have a giant box of them. Probably 8 full sets of
That's
D-Max
it?
taillights. Yeah, because I try and fix them and like glue them back
Oh,
together and
okay.
stuff. I try not to buy them if I can. If it's
How many times
somewhat-
has your hood come up and smashed the windshield and taken
I've
it out?
put 4 windshields in the car, 2 roof skins, and 4 hoods.
How many tires?
I counted this the other day. I think I've gotten maybe 500 Kendas, and then another probably 500 like burners, various crap that I got from dumpster diving back in the day.
How well does your giant plywood splitter contraption that weighs 100 pounds work on the car and save the car?
Dude, it works awesome, especially like street driving. It
Yeah.
scrapes on stuff and doesn't care. That's it's not that much weight anymore. It's just now about 8 inches of the leading edge.
Okay.
And then I've got it braced with a little metal subframe, and saves the bumper. You know, those 2F bumpers are awesome and look
Expensive.
great, but also not cheap. Yeah. So
How many drift events have you been to?
I think at least 200 probably. If you figure 15 a year.
Not a
for,
big. No,
15 a year for 10 years.
No, I just meant not a long explanation.
Yeah,
200.
200. Yeah.
How many countries have you been to drifting?
4?
4. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, we need to up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, they are.
Why does your hair get taller every year?
Because I get shorter from driving in that thing as it squishes me going over the bumps in the bucket seat.
Yeah.
My spine compresses, so my hair has to.
All right. Those are all pretty good answers. Now, would you have believed those answers when you started drifting, that 10 years of drifting, or 11 years of, I guess right at 10 years of drifting, would be that much stuff? If you said my car's been painted 25 times.
Right. If you'd have told me that, I would have thought like, okay, well, it's somewhere in that 10 years I must have hit the lottery because there's no way I'm buying 1,000 tires and that many paint jobs and body kits and stuff.
But you make it happen.
You make it happen. You got to grind and do whatever you got to do to make it happen, and there you go. Here we
Yeah.
are. Car's still in one piece right now.
But after all of that, everybody always talks about how abusive drifting is, which it is, but it's one car.
I was going to say.
One car.
It's only ever been on a frame machine once.
That's because there's no frame to pull.
No, there's a lot of frame left.
It's a joke.
But yeah, I've been good at
one car
Right.
that entire time for all of that, taking that abuse.
As many times as I've crashed it, I've always like crashed it small enough to be repairable.
Yeah.
Even the one at Hyperdrive, which is
I've
the
never
one that-
completely taken out a car either.
Really?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
But I mean, like, you can pull a car out a lot.
You can, but like Jason's car, I mean, he wasn't even drifting it, and it was completely.
They fixed it though.
I wouldn't call that fixed. Mine is within 1 millimeter of OEM specs.
I don't think OEM specs is within a millimeter of itself.
That's right. Their tolerance is 3 millimeters, and we got it within 1. So,
Good.
Yeah.
You fixed
It's
it.
straighter than stock.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to talk about? Because I ask all the questions. Why don't you ask me something or talk about something you find interesting? Because I find lots of things interesting. I find the sustainability of drifting interesting. I find the future of drifting interesting. I find what cars will be drifting in 5 to 10 years interesting if we continue this path, because there obviously won't be new cars that work for what we do. I mean, there might be.
I think
but I don't know.
I think what's...
Oh, right before I end that thought, but I was just in a 330i BMW for a few weeks, driving it, and that chassis is so good. The new chassis are really good, even though they're kind of heavy.
Yep.
They have a bunch of problems, the electrics and all that stuff, but we could pull all that stuff out and make it a race car. We still have a bunch of good platforms for things, so it's not as bad as I would think sometimes, because I think the new 3 Series is lighter than the one before it, has pretty good power. The handling and the suspension is literally so good, I could just have stock suspension on it.
Yep, that's like the one I drifted. It was
Yeah,
stock.
I was like,
Stock
they're
everything.
actually better. They're just kind of heavy and overly complicated, and I don't know if we can make the wiring talk. But
Right.
go ahead.
I think something that's super interesting is the fact that so many people know Lone Star Drift and Lone Star drivers, not just nationwide but worldwide. Like, I go places I've never been with people I've never met, and like I don't announce it or anything. I'll just be walking in the pits, and people will recognize me or come up and say hello and say, you know, oh, I saw your updates on this or that. And I think that's really cool that like we are able to, in this day and age, share enough to where we, you know, obviously in the grocery store, no one's going to recognize any of us, but you know, at a drift event, people will
You don't
walk.
ever get recognized at the grocery store?
I've gotten recognized at like a couple like fast food joints, you know, by college kids, but nothing like anyone older than 35 probably
Oh,
would
that's a good
never.
point. I've gotten recognized places. I've gotten recognized at like drink places and coffee places and grocery stores and food places, and I'll be eating dinner with somebody and they'll walk up and want to introduce themselves. And like I've gotten people to buy food for us, and they're like, "I got your check." But like it's not crazy, you know. Like it happens once a month or twice a month.
Sure.
Sai's probably been with me when we got recognized. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. That was all just the fact that
I was
like,
just thinking I would think you'd be recognized a lot because Hyperdrive is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's true. One of the chicks at Costco was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like checking out, just like in a hoodie, just like you know, buying a mountain of eggs here, and she you know recognized me and wanted a picture and stuff, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know. I think too, like just the whole networking thing. Like right now, if I get stranded, I'm not really worried like I would have been maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, you know someone's
Well,
gonna come pick you
yeah,
up. That's
yeah.
the best.
Yeah, it is.
That you don't even understand how safe and like snugly like a blanket that makes you feel. If I break down anywhere in the U.S., I'm just like, oh my God, someone save me, and someone will probably help. Like I was stuck out in Shreveport recently, and like someone came from the other side of Shreveport, and someone came from this side, and like it took 4 hours, but we got my truck fixed and stuff. And you're like, actually no, it took like 10 hours. but took them a little while to get there. But I was gonna say, you have like a safety net, and it's absolutely amazing, even in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. That happened to me at Grid Life.
So the fans are just absolutely amazing.
When my truck got crashed, Savannah Little was there in less than an hour, and I was like way outside of the city. We got 2 trucks, towed my trailer, towed my truck. Everything was like fixed up. Friends all pitched in from all over and made it. You know, it was unreal.
Yeah.
1 minute I've got a totaled truck, totaled trailer, and drift car inside is smashed. Everything like completely destroyed. And then 12 hours later, like trucks running, cars at Grid Life, and I'm drifting with Osbo.
That's amazing.
Unreal.
Oh, that's another thing, by the way. Take this Drift Week trip. This is just an observation, but take Drift Week or take our Ebisu trips or take all this stuff. I was recently drifting with Osbo in Japan on an episode of Top Gear. Like you were doing it over there. Like we're drifting with Matt Field and Luke Fink and Chelsea right now and Adam and stuff. Like I am constantly somewhere. I was talking to David. I'm like, David, I don't live anywhere near you. I don't ever talk to you on the phone or anything. Like we're friends, but we're not friends that like chat or anything. But I literally hang out with them somewhere all the time, whether it be Texas or Colorado.
Mesker?
Yeah, Mesker.
Yeah.
Japan, here. Like I see the guy all the time, and I drift with him all the time. It's hilarious. So we have all of these friends that are absolutely amazing drifters and capable of getting themselves around the world and everything. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And most of these guys are, Mesker might be rich, but you know, like most of us aren't rich. Like we're just making it happen.
Yeah. Yep. Some more than others, but if you have enough drive and passion for it, you'll get it done. You know?
Yeah. Cool. Is that all we want to talk about, or you have anything else to say?
No, I guess thank you to everyone who's putting this kind of stuff together and watching. You know, thank you again to you for putting this together and talking me into driving that. That was the worst idea I've ever had, to drive that across the country. I hope that I make it all the way. Fingers crossed.
I have something to say. I find it absolutely amazing. I can come up with ludicrous, ridiculous ideas that are like just off the top of my head with like, take Texas Street Legal or Drift Week. They were literally 30-minute ideas where I'm like, I don't want to have a truck and trailer. I just want to drive a drift car. I want to do as many tracks as I can in the shortest period of time without driving to California and then having to wait a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to do another event. Because if I want to do 3 different tracks in California to make it worth my while to drive out there, I have to be there for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, or fly back and forth. I was like, this is ridiculous. I want to do as much driving as possible and do lots of tracks. And with Street Legal, I was like, I just don't want to have race cars and make every driver get a race car. I want people to go out with a 350Z that's very basic, without a cage and all these things, and like reliable, force them to be reliable. I come up with the idea, I make it, and then a bunch of people do it. And that blows my mind. I can't believe you brought your stupid car. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I made an idea, and then suddenly we're living through a 30-minute idea I had.
You didn't tell me it was a 30-minute, like, just like jot on a napkin. This would be cool.
No, it is though. That's what everything is.
Yeah,
it was on a napkin.
Just sends one
it really
message, one like group message to 10 people. You're like, hey, we should do this, and then everyone's like, all right.
Yeah, and I mean, like, at that point, it's between Luke Fink being here for a month and
2 months,
buying a car and like Axel flying over and the foreigners and stuff, plus all of our prep, I would say this is about a $250,000 invest, maybe $200,000 for all of it, because the event cost of hosting it and then all that. So it becomes a really big thing, and most of the guys are funding everything on their own. We of course did get a few sponsors and stuff, but I mean, like, you still had thousands of dollars of prep to your car to get it here.
And hundreds and hundreds
and
of hours.
hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
So, and then to drive it, you're probably between $3,500 and $5,000 to do this adventure.
I think it's more than that.
Well, don't tell yourself that. Just wait.
Yeah, okay.
You're not home yet.
You're right.
It could be a lot worse.
It could be worse.
Anyways, I was going to say, we are so bad with money and so bad with all this stuff.
I have Harrison. I gave him my keys to my truck, and I hooked my trailer to my truck. And I was like, it's got a full tank. If I get stuck, you better come and get me. So I have
But that's, again, your friend network.
Yep.
You know that he'll be, you know that
I can
if you did that 5 years ago, you would have an aneurysm if you broke down. You'd feel trapped. But now, I had that happen a few times doing D1 USA and some other things. We were up in Jersey, and I got trapped with the trailer and all this stuff for like 4 days. And instead of feeling freaked out, I was just like, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
And you just like relax, and you're like, this is gonna sort itself out.
Right.
And you're just like, it sucks for work or whatever I'm doing, but like, it doesn't stress you out. Same thing with Harrison now. You know he's gonna come. You're just like, I'm gonna go eat for 2 days and like, hang out by the pool or whatever.
No,
like,
I'm gonna find someone's house that lives nearby and just go hang with them, like whatever it is.
But I'm saying you're not so stressed out as before because of our friend network is so good.
Yeah.
And that's the best. Oh, I was gonna say, along those lines, thank you, YouTube. Without YouTube being here, all the people that used to watch whatever you used to watch, like option videos or whatever drifting content, without you watching this kind of stuff, we wouldn't be able to do this kind of stuff. Just you guys watching makes it possible for sponsors or just our energy to get excited to do it. Because 10 years ago, before we had a way to like show this to the world and live with everybody through it, this would not happen because the tracks wouldn't let us drive, the drivers wouldn't get enthusiastic and, build cars that look like that. We would bring shitbox. I did bring a shitbox, but you know what I mean? We would
But
bring.
it looks all right.
It looks rad, but it's a
Good.
shitbox.
Yeah.
Cool. So thank you so much, YouTube. Thank you so much to the sponsors. Again, it was What Monsters Do. Go to their website, use the discount code EBISU for 20% off. BC Racing Coilovers. Obviously, if you need BC Racing stuff, most of the drivers here run BC Racing Coilovers anyways.
And actually, I'll, on that point, I put the DS on my car,
Yeah.
and it's unreal how good they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rohan was telling me that. He's like,
Yeah,
it's so comfortable.
it's so comfortable.
It's just the noise and
noise
everything else.
and the bucket seat is the sucky part,
Yeah.
like that.
Go get a little cushion or
I got
pillow
one.
and sit.
I got one.
It's still bad?
Yeah, it's still bad.
Oh, man. I have NRG ones.
Yeah.
They're leather. They're plush. How good are they, Si?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
really
Yeah, I
good.
sat in it for a little bit at the gas
Yeah.
station. It's not bad. Mine's like, I almost got some different seat. In fact, I tried to put an R32 seat in the car.
Yeah.
And with the cage and stuff, wasn't gonna work.
By the way, this is a life hack for race car people. I run not quite so aggressive racing seats that are kind of cushy. And in your car, you want something really, really aggressive or whatever. And then what I do is when I have a helmet on, I need to sit a little bit lower than the cushier racing seats, which are still side mount bucket seats. I do this in my Ebisu car too. I pop the seat cushions out. It drops you another 3 inches lower, so you have more bolstering here, and you sit down lower in the seat, and the seats typically taper and tighten up as you go down. So when you're sitting on top of the seat, you don't need so much hip contact. When you take the seats out, you drop lower, and then you also can fit lower with the helmet and everything. So you drop in and your seat suddenly becomes much more aggressive, much more tighter, much more firm. You're not moving around so much.
Yeah.
Just
This harness feels better. and
like,
stuff.
yeah, life hack for that.
How crazy
And then
is-
when Patrick has to drive my car,
Yeah.
I take all the seat cushions
Right.
out the other side and then I stack them up to
Double
make a new
stuff 'em.
seat.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. How crazy is it too that Michael Van Schellenbeck is still joining us?
He says he is.
No, he's on the road now.
Oh,
I
my
talked to
God.
him this morning. He finished his
Oh,
car.
let's talk about that real quick. Keep going.
Yeah, so Michael
He's
Van
days late.
Schellenbeck is multiple days late, but we are having so much fun and posting such
The
cool
audience
stuff.
doesn't know what's going on, by the way. He tried to build an entire car out of a street car, which was an E36 four-door, out of his comp car. He was moving the subframes, the drivetrain, the hydro e-brake setup, the angle kit, all the arms, the big turbo setup, the ECU, the wiring. Everything over to a new car like a week beforehand, and we're like, what are you doing? You're never going to make it.
Yeah.
He's been trying to make it. Now he's trying to drive it to make up.
He's going to drive 30 hours straight, I think, to meet us in Tucson, or 20
Wow.
hours straight, whatever it is. He's driving straight from Austin to Tucson. He's going to make it there, and he's going to drive with us tomorrow.
I think I would just go watch Netflix or something. I was like, oh, man.
Like, I'm over it. He's probably hasn't slept but maybe 5 hours in the past week.
Wow, I hope he's okay on the drive.
Yeah.
Because the drive is actually more dangerous than the track time in these
100%.
cars. Dan Brockett, we're going to talk about that, put his car off the highway and almost hit a pole with a trailer on it when he had a suspension piece break.
I fell asleep at the wheel and almost hit a semi.
What?
1 mile from my destination.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It was bad.
Your car,
Yeah, you were asleep.
his
so-
car,
He's like, I was in the car.
I just learned about this now? Yeah.
his car is that comfortable he can fall asleep while
No, it
driving.
was just that much. I was 16 hours straight because of
Yeah.
all the stops with the issues I was having.
Yeah.
Every single time I stopped was another almost hour.
Oh, explain your issues, because everybody's like, oh, his fuel pumps broke. It was
Yeah.
the wiring. His
the
fuel
wiring.
pumps are okay.
Yeah, fuel pumps are okay. The wiring was not good. It was overheating the relays and causing them to fail and whatever. It's cobbled back together now. I got a Band-Aid on it, and I've got a plan in action. When I get to California, Aaron Parker from Hyperdrive is going to look at my wiring for me, and
Cool.
he's going to hook it up. And then Fuel Lab, I told him about all the problems I was having with the Bosch pumps because I've been running Bosch pumps on E85, which is not technically compatible. And so they were like, yeah, just take all that out. We'll sponsor you. So
Wait, oh my God, I just realized a life hack. You complain openly about parts, and then a competitor company
Yep.
swoops in and they're like, we got you.
Yep.
I just learned a life hack.
I just tagged them. I was like, someone sponsor me, I need pumps. And then I just tagged Fuel Lab because I met them at SEMA. And they were like, yeah, we could do something, sure. And then immediately they were like, what do you need? And I was like, I need a pump and a filter overnighted. And
You
they
need
were
I need 4 pumps.
No, they were like, done. And then before, like, it was 1 hour's time passed before
They send
the
you a
phone
tracking
call,
number?
and there's a tracking number overnighted to Phoenix. Yeah.
Now you feel special, don't you?
I know. I was like, shit, this is
You know what the
awesome.
worst part about this is too? I'm not so cheap I won't buy a fuel pump.
Right.
But I am so cheap I'm not paying for overnight shipping.
Yeah, right. No, they were great. So thank you guys at Fuel Lab. I appreciate that. That'll be going on the car to update it. And then, they were like, we looked in your history. You got fuel issues all the time. They were like, we want to design you a proper fuel setup. So that's coming in the future, and I'm looking forward to actually having like a fully engineered, well-rounded solution that doesn't give me problems anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
Does that include a new fuel cell?
Fuel cell, multiple
about a
pumps,
fuel
multiple filters,
level sensor?
fuel gauge, everything.
What? A fuel gauge?
Yep.
That's gonna be
They're gonna
baller.
give me fuel pressure regulators, whatever I need.
Dang.
So it's gonna be legit.
That's exciting. Oh, name one mod you would make to that car. Let me do it first. My car it's the SC300. It's doing well. At elevation, it's lacking power right now because I lost 5 pounds of boost, which I didn't think was gonna be a thing at elevation. So I probably lost I lost 70 horsepower up here.
I didn't even think about the fact that we're up here. No wonder my
Yeah.
car feels like.
Yeah, so I lost about 70 horsepower, which is fine, that's not a problem. We either have a temp sensor problem from the 1JZ temp thing over to the dash and it not reading correctly, or my car overheats constantly and it's about to blow up. I hope it's just the temp sensor problem. So we're gonna do a temp sensor tomorrow. I need to change that. I need to, my front springs are too soft. I wanted really soft springs for the street, and it is, but we're having rubbing issues all over the place and we don't wanna raise the car, a ton to do it.
On that note, I put 14K on the front of mine. It's fine,
Yeah.
even on the street.
I need
No
to
issues.
up it a bunch.
Yeah.
And then do you have a bunch of high spring rates here? Do you have like a 22?
I didn't bring anything.
Neither did I. Everything is rubbing in the front for my angle kit. I need to figure that out. We don't have stops on it, and like I spun out in front of Matt because if you touch, it just rubs and then it's like hitting the brakes.
Yep.
And it's dangerous as hell. But other than that, my car's great. But if I could fix those things, which I'm going to, like when we drive at Ebisu, you sort out your car every day and you fix a little thing and your car keeps getting better.
Yep.
What could you do on this trip to make your car better?
Right now, like
Yeah.
in the trip, I could get a holder for my cell phone.
Oh, I need that too. Yeah.
God, I would love that one of those right now.
Sounds dumb, but
A
it's real.
defogger would be great.
Does RainX not work well enough?
I did RainX and FogX. That product is garbage. None of it works ever.
I've never had good luck with it either.
Never. And like I apply it correctly, I buy it brand new, I clean the shit and everything. That stuff sucks. If you got a suggestion, leave in the comments for like an alternative, maybe a Japanese version that actually works. That would be fantastic.
Why would Japanese versions work?
Because they're always better than us.
They would just smell like cucumbers or something.
Squash.
And they would work. And that would be the thing that would be what I want.
Yeah.
For sure.
So no big changes.
So, well, yeah, of course, big changes. Like, heat would be so good. Yeah. Or like somehow sealing up. I thought I sealed up every hole in the cabin. I put like tons of glue all around the windshield and all underneath the firewall and stuff. And somehow there's still just like a full-on Arctic breeze on my face and entire body when I'm driving on the highway.
Have you tried wearing helmets in there yet?
No, but I wear my noise-canceling headphones. That helps a little bit. And then just cry. Yeah.
You should just like pretend you're driving it and then it's just on a trailer.
Right.
Just like meh.
Yeah, what trailer?
No,
I can't even fit in your trailer.
No,
That
you
thing's full of
can't.
tires.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep.
Great driving in the past couple years. You keep
Thanks.
getting better and better. You keep doing better things. From an organization such as Lone Star Drift, I want my drivers to do as well as possible. It excites the other drivers and it makes you not quit. Longevity of my drivers is a huge thing. The typical lifespan of a drifter is 12 months to 24 months.
A couple years, yeah.
Well, I was going to say I would say 80% of people quit when they go to their first drift event and they're like, oh my God, this is expensive.
Yeah.
They're like, I just spent $1,000 in a weekend. And I'm like, oh, that's cheap.
Yeah. Like, oh, you
I'm like, that's not
you
bad.
got off easy. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah. Sometimes I get off super cheap too, but like.
For sure.
It-
Like when your car breaks on the first lap, then you
Yeah.
get off super cheap because you don't get to drive.
Yeah.
You use no tires.
Do you think you're going to make it the whole way?
Yes, absolutely. I have to.
You're like, because I can't get home otherwise.
Yeah, I must make it all the way. No, I think she's been a trooper and kind of just like you just said, every time we fix something, the car gets better. So now the fuel pumps issues are somewhat sorted out and the weather now is going to be better, so it won't be so cold. And like the tires are just eventually rubbing away to where they're now clearancing themselves. So like eventually that won't be a problem. And I've got tons of tires left to burn. So, my brake pads are almost done. I need to find some of those too.
Okay.
You got any connection with Willwood? 'cause-
I got a connection with O'Reilly's.
Yeah, I don't have those.
We can save you on tax.
Oh, great.
Oh wait, maybe not in between states though. You're
Yeah,
screwed.
Probably not.
I have a question for your friend here.
Rohan.
Yes.
All you're gonna answer is, does he spend more time with his girlfriend or his car?
The car.
Really?
Yeah.
The car?
Yeah. Like way,
Okay.
way.
So this is a big commitment.
Yeah, and it's definitely taxing on the relationship side of things. So, you know, if you're dating a drifter, you know, have some patience because it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and you just have to, you know, it's better than me like going out to a strip club or like, you know, getting drunk or doing drugs.
Is
I'm
it?
in the garage wrenching
You'd
on my
be
car.
home earlier if you went to a strip club. You'd
but I'd
have
be-
more money too.
Yeah, it's also true. Yeah, I'd smell better for sure.
Yeah. You'd have like a nice like vanilla smell or
Right,
something.
a little vanilla,
Whatever strippers
cinnamon,
smell like.
Body spray, yeah,
Yeah.
glitter all over me. It'd be better. But no, I think that's a big thing that like people don't understand is that the support network behind the scenes is pretty important to something like of this level. You know, it's taken me so many years to get here, and I can't stop now because I would just be sunk in 6 months. You know, be it.
What does that mean, sunk?
Like if I stop drifting.
Depressed?
No, like all my sponsors would be like, okay, well, why are we sponsoring you? That's all done. And then I would lose all my support network, and then I would immediately.
I think about happiness. I think about like contentment in life.
Yeah.
He thinks about
Monies.
sponsors. Yeah.
No, I'm
Money's
just like
just saved.
because if I don't have that, I can't drift, right?
Right.
And I mean, this car especially, I could drift a Z on my own dime, but it would be boring. So.
Ah,
Yeah.
you say that, but you had a blast in the Z.
Yeah, while you just like hammered the crap out of both sides of it relentlessly for laps and laps
Oh,
and
it's
laps.
good though.
That was more fun for you for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I need 2 new doors now. Thank you.
We need
Yeah.
skid plates on doors now, on
Yeah.
Z doors. That's an idea.
Adam did it. He put
did he?
tube outside on the side
So
skirts.
bad.
It works.
I don't care. No, stop that.
You did it too.
No, I did not.
You
I
had the
never
side
have had
skirt tube things.
exposed.
You had them
bars.
underneath the side
That's right.
skirts.
They're underneath.
Yeah.
And that's acceptable.
They didn't work though.
They worked great.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought they bent.
I mean, eventually, when
Yeah.
you hit them, they bend. When you know Chelsea hits them, they don't.
Yeah, we should just make steel body kits.
Yeah, 3,000-pound body kits. But yeah, that's something like drifting is supposed to be a rolling car show. I know that I certainly have not always had a good-looking car, and even to this day, sometimes it doesn't look the best. But putting exposed bars and crap like that, no, stop that. Cut that shit out. That's terrible.
Do what you got to do, guys.
No,
do what you got to
don't do it.